I knew at the very beginning of our relationship that there had to be a commitment, not only just for me to him, but also for him to me. And it was that commitment in my heart that I knew when the bad times happened that I had to hold on to that, because I knew our relationship, our bond together meant more than something trivial that happened or something that made me angry. There was more.
You know, if I was to sum up the toughest thing, I think starting the relationship out, it was really not knowing how to get past all the useless arguments. Because I think in the youth of our relationship, we were young, we had a baby, a child, very, very quickly. You have all the financial concerns, and then all of a sudden everything else becomes the focal point rather than the relationship, and we didn't know how to get back to that easily. And that was the key. We had to get back to our relationship and back to what really mattered, not being right or wrong, not being territorial, not this is my stuff, that's your stuff, not will you spend more time with the baby. All those other things were a byproduct of us, and we had to make it about us being the focal point again while those things were still the byproduct.
One of the biggest problems I feel like we had when we first got married, number one, we were very young, and we had a baby right off the bat. So we had a lot of different chaoses or things pulling us in different directions. We were both working as well. And I think one of our biggest faults was communication between one another, because he would be going in one direction, I'd be going another direction. And then when we come in the middle, we based off how to talk to one another based off our previous experience watching our parents, how they would react to one another, and that wasn't always a good thing. And it took us a long time to figure out how to become friends and to communicate as friends. Because, as a friend, when you have a friend, you talk to them very openly. And sometimes when we have a partner in our lives, we try to pick words to choose what to say, what they might want to hear, or what we've heard our parents say, or even what the TV has said. What a role model to get from a TV. But if you haven't had that role model in your life, you'll take whatever you can get to try to work through your issues. And so communication, I think, at the very beginning was very difficult. And then we realized it's not a matter of who is right and wrong, but how do we communicate to one another honestly. And that's what a relationship's about. That's what matters.
I think the last thing, and I've said this, and I came to it about 2.5 years in to the relationship, was it's a relationship that matters. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. And the more that I've tried to live by that with my wife and my friend and my lover and my companion, the more I've tried to really make that my focal point, that it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's the relationship. Everything else becomes so much different when you look at it with that mindset, especially when you answer. We have some more of this addressed on the inside training courses, but when you address the real reason and what your real focus is about the relationship, and then it doesn't matter who's right or wrong, man, you talk about just getting wings on that relationship and starting to fly and really starting to grow and thrive.
Some of the challenges that we have faced in our relationship, a lot had to do with forgiveness, because we realized as we got older it wasn't keeping a tally or who was right or wrong, but a true forgiveness, so that when something came up that was a new disagreement or something, we didn't go, well, you remember when we did such and such, or when you did such and such. When we forgive, we try to completely forgive and wipe the slate clean, because it's a new issue. We've resolved the old issue. We're moving on to a new issue. Let's work through it, do the forgiveness, and just keep looking forward, because you can't keep bringing up past failures or past disappointments, because you'll never get anywhere. You'll get stuck in the rut.
And I think as well, people perceive that if the other person's strong in some areas and they make you stronger, I think sometimes that, you feel like you're weak because you're letting them be strong, and that's not the reality. Think about this. How many sports teams, everybody plays a different role. Everybody has different strengths. At work, everybody plays different roles and has different strengths and weaknesses. The reality of our relationship after 27 years is that her being stronger than me in certain areas and me being stronger than her in certain areas doesn't make either one of us weak. It makes us both stronger.
It's the relationship that matters, and it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's the relationship, and just hold on to that. We developed this training because we believe we have something to offer people. We've been through a lot of struggles, and we know possibly you're going through struggles. Whether it's a new relationship, old relationship, we feel like we have some answers and some positive things that you can learn through our experiences to help you, and that's what we're here for.